Welcome to this demo. So in this demo I will show you how the dashboard works, how to use it, and what the dashboard is representing. In another video I'll show you how to build it, or at least tips on how to build it. So this dashboard has several tabs here, resource, task, budget, and also settings, and they all feed into this dashboard here. So there's a menu here where you can go from tab to tab just by pressing the cells here. Now let's have a look at this dashboard itself. At the top here you have the starting status, if you like, of the project. Here that's calculated automatically based on the amount of resource that you have in your resource list. This is also the budget that you have input. This is a calculated end date. So I've calculated that based on the amount of tasks you have, obviously, but also on the resource allocation and on task completion. So this is very important. This is based on the resource allocation and task completion status. So this is calculated from today. So if you change the resource allocation, this will change. So you can try and optimize based on the resource allocation. And on the very end, it's a workload. I didn't put any units here because you could decide to put hours or days or weeks or months in this. So this is, if you like, apart from the day, this is a starting point of your dashboard of your project. So here, this is more where we at. So this is the burn rate, if you like, of the task, how many tasks you've completed on a 12 months basis or on a 12 weeks or days. Once again, the periods are like the workload. You can put any units that you like. So here I've terminated one task, two tasks, one task. And when we complete a task, we need to put an end date. And this is how I am being able to calculate this task completion here. So this is more of a classic task completion status. Give you the amount of tasks that are not started, in progress, and completed. And here this is the overall tracking. So the task completed, it's similar to this. So this is the 11 here that is being reflected. It gives you how many tasks have been completed, and this is a workload completion. And you can see in this example that, for instance, it's quite important to have both, because the work completed here is quite good, but when you look only at tasks, you think, oh, I'm not going anywhere. But based on this, it looks like the tasks that you have outstanding don't have a lot of workload. So it's not all bad. And the budget spent, of course, you have to use the work completed with the budget spent. And this is quite important to have both of them together. Obviously, you could have some one-off costs, but that's for you to keep an eye on all this. And we'll have a look at that on the budget tab. So this is, talking about budget, this is the budget, and this is where every month or every weeks, every day, I'm going to say month from now on, but you can put any periods that you like. You can compare what you had in budget for that period and the actuals, which is a lighter blue, that you have burned. Here, period 8 and 9, you have burned more than budget allocated was going on, but here you have burned less. So those two are more for trends. This is why they're very high level. They don't have any axis. I think it's very useful to see the budget spending trend. And you can say, oh, well, okay, so here I'm starting to spend a lot. Why? So is it because of I've done more work here, or is it because the task took longer or the like? So this is a very good analysis tool. And here you see a bit of a plateau here. And here it's the same, the work completion rate. Guys, how are you doing with completing your work? This is this is important to know that you can I calculate only the work completed when the task itself has been completed. Otherwise, I would require you to input a date every time, every week, or every period. So when the task is completed, I count all the workload that was allocated to that task. I just count it and I put it in this completion for the period here. So here some stats again, 31 assigned tasks. The budget, we had 12,000 units. I didn't put any dollars, so this way you can use any currency that you like. How many resources are available and how many resources are utilized? So here, this is the top 10 tasks. based on the outstanding work that needs to be done. So this is sorted by outstanding tasks. So you would have more tasks, but this is the top ones. And I'm highlighting in this light purple here, the one with high priority and the one with medium priority in blue here. So you know the second task with the most outstanding work is a high priority. So let's have a look at that one, because this could be causing us to come to grief. This is the top 10 used resources. And once again, I'm putting the same color code here, high priority. If that resource has any type of, high priority task, I will put it in purple. And if this one, for instance, has a medium priority task. And once again, it's sorted by outstanding workload here. So this resource has 17 tasks, and the outstanding workload is 148. Okay, now if we go under the resources here, there's quite a lot of room for resources. And there's only what's in light blue here that you need to input. And as a general rule, on all the tabs here, it's all that is in light blue that you need to worry about. All this has been calculated. And okay, so you just put your resource here. That's pretty much it. So, and it shows you this cross here, a big gray cross when there's some work in progress. These two resources don't have anything to do, so there's not even a cross here. And when the task is completed, there is a big tick here. So this is good to know. So there's just, I've done a bit of, if you have a large resource list and you happen to input the same resource twice, there's a bit of a warning here. So that you don't double up and mess up the full system. So very quickly, here that gives you the number of tasks, task completed, task outstanding, work allocated, completed, outstanding, with the totals obviously at the top. How many medium priority tasks, how many high priority. And actually this is worth some explanation. This is what I was mentioning before. This 14th of Jan, it's the date that is reflected here. 14th of Jan is reflected here. So this is, if you like, the system is calculating for every task how much work there is outstanding, and they are adding this to today. So if you know much about Excel, you can see the formula here. So you look at today, and based on the fact if you work on weekends or not, it calculates how much time it's gonna you have left to do, and it adds that to today's date. And this is when the project would complete, when all the tasks are completed, obviously. Thank you, Ben. But let's say this person here looks like it's a bit unfair. So many tasks finishing so far behind all the others. So obviously, unless it's a very specific skill, you can play with a task allocation, and then you can bring this date forward. Okay, so this is pretty much it for resourcing. So if I go under the next one, which would be the tasks. Okay, here I'm with the tasks. So obviously here there's more things to input. Same principle here, very quickly. There's a tick when the task is completed. So here you put your task, start date, an estimate, a completion percentage, and nothing new here. Here the resource you can select using this drop down menu. Here the priority also, but that's something that is in the settings that you can change. If you don't like this, I won't take it personally, you can put your own. And here you put a completion date. So when you put a completion 100%, the system is going to show you that you should put a completion date, because this will help you visualize the progress that you have. And if you look at the dashboard, this will show here, how many tasks you have completed and when, and also here how many work has been completed and when on the scale here. Let's go back to the tasks. So this is obviously here there's some minor formatting. Here when it's high, it's showing in this purple. When it's medium, it's not actually highlighting anything. Maybe I could put a light blue here. But that's pretty much it. So and all the rest is calculated. I'll walk you through this. But just before I do, if you look at the top, there's total tasks here, 42 tasks, and this is the stats that we find on the dashboard as well. High and active, this is telling me how many high tasks are active. So I need to have a look at the formatting here. So total workload here, this is the total amount of work, and same what has been completed and outstanding. Here for each task, again, completed, outstanding. And this is telling you how many, if this resource, like for instance the J wheels here, how many other tasks this resource is allocated to. So here you see how this guy is quite busy. So when you do the resource allocation, you might decide to put someone else on this task. Okay, if we go under the budget now. So if you don't have any budget, that's fine. It's just on the dashboard, you're not going to have this part here, and you're not going to have this, and you're not going to have that, but all the rest should be working fine. So if we go on a budget, so how does that work? I think the key thing for budget is to allocate the total budget here. This is the light blue. This is your budget, and I'll give some explanation. All those are calculated. And this is if you want, once again, if you wanted to split your budget by period, and here I'm on a weekly period, if you want to split your budget by period, you just can put it here. So here I have 20,000 and I've allocated 9,000 only, but I need to finish my work. I need to allocate another 11,000. So let's say it all happening next week. I put 11,000 here, and now you can see that I have 20,000 to play with. I've allocated 20,000, so I'm all good. And this is telling me month by month how much money I've spent. And this is what you need to do to stay on top of things. You have to put your budget here every month, and therefore that calculates the variance. I'm not going to go into the burn rate and the likes, but this is what you need to do. This will show you if you are ahead or behind of budget. Okay, so budget via spend, this is just to give you a very high level. So this is the overall budget you had and how much you have spent, and this is the budget variance. And you find some of this information here. For instance, the 12,300 is back here. So this is it for budget. Now, last but not least, so the settings is quite simple. The settings, it's you see if you work on weekend, how is it used? We talked about that briefly. This is used to calculate the completion from today. If you work on weekends, then it's going to skip weekends. And if you do work on weekends, then it's just going to add the amount of days. The start period, so this is the start date for your project. This is where things will be calculated from. Actually, I'll come back to this. And this is the period in weeks, days, or month. You have to decide. And then this is the start date of the chart. So let's have a look at this chart, because this is all on this chart here. This chart and this chart. So if you put your start date of your budget here, it's from 15th of May, which is what you have decided to have a start date of your budget, your project, sorry. You have 15th of May here. So this is showing you the 12 months starting from the 15th of May. But let's say you arrive 12 weeks after and you are here, and this is going to become out of date because you are now in June. So for instance, let's say that we are now in June. Actually, let's say we are now in July. So the start date of the project will not change. So that will stay the same. That shouldn't change. But you want your chart instead to start on the 1st of July. Because the data that you see on the chart now is out of date. So if I put the 1st of July, now you can see these have changed. Now this is now the 3rd of July, and this is it. So I think this is something that you can play with when you start getting if you start using this for a few periods, then you'll get it. But it's just a trick that I have to allow you to have a dynamic chart. Okay, so I think this is a wrap. You have, as usual, a help tab here that gives you an overview, a visual overview of the dashboard, everything that it has inside. everything re-explained, because you cannot just rely on this video here. And then what else? Yeah, so this is explained very briefly here. But the best way, I think, is to use these visual cues here. Anyway, so I hope you like it, and any questions, let me know.